into the icy depths of the freezer. Is this the end for Sweet Potato? Oh no! We found out about Max's congenital abnormalities at the 20-week scan. So we knew baby had a very serious condition with the brain called severe ventricular megaly, which is where the spaces are too big, there's not enough brain tissue. There were also issues with kidneys, the heart. That was when everything just turned upside down, because up until that point you just presume that your baby's going to be healthy and they're going to be fine, and literally it was just everything stopped.
We were aware very early on that the chance of Max surviving was potentially quite low. We made the decision to name him at that point. Once we found out
he was a boy, we named him there and then.
We just wanted time with him before kind of even, because we didn't know if he'd survived delivery.
So Max was delivered at 35 weeks by C-section. A potentially very complicated C-section. He was alert and he was wiggling.
At 6 hours old, we discovered that his gullet, his food pipe, wasn't connected to his stomach, it was actually connected to his lungs. So at that point he was whisked off to surgery.
Max spent the first 4 weeks of life on intensive care, at the brink a couple of times, but the whole way through he was so determined. I think kind of the thing that summed it up best for us was the 20-week scan was a Friday. And it was that weekend when we didn't know what was happening, we didn't have a formal diagnosis, we didn't have anything, he started kicking. So that for me makes me really emotional, because it was like, I'm here, mummy, I'm here and I'm fighting, and just gotta keep strong for me. So that kept me going the whole way through. Because of Max's issues with his hydrocephalus, his head was very, very vulnerable still. We ended up just with a concoction of different things.
A cot and a head raise.
And wedges. And
as soon as he started to be able to turn his head, he would end up being in a position where if the stomach contents come back up as a baby refluxes, they could erode where the surgical site was. That became very difficult. It meant we were up quite a lot repositioning him and turning him and moving him.
And also when he's on a beanbag, he could have suffocated, so that became a risk then as well. They can go up to about 10,000, but this was about six to seven, which is a small car, and there's no way we could have ever afforded it.
Not with all the other costs of having a small child.
Max is one child taking up all that money, and there are so many other children that need things and who maybe don't cost as much, so we would have understood if it hadn't have been approved, because it is so much money, but it's been life-changing. And I know that sounds really dramatic. It literally has changed our lives. We sleep now.
Max can be quite solitary at times, and it's somewhere that he's actually you can tell that he's quite safe and he's happy here, and he'll just play with his toys quite content as well. If you have to put him down for 2 minutes, it's somewhere where you can leave him for 2 minutes and you know he's safe.
It's made such a difference, especially for me when I'm babysitting him. He used to hit his head off the cart and be crazy, and I'd be worrying about him all night, so I'd end up holding him and my arm would go dead. So now I know he's safe in there, I can leave him even if he's awake, and I know he's not going to hurt himself. Without them, we would never have got this for Max, and other children would never get what they need, and it's just such a great chance to get what they need to be able to live a normal life.
It's hard to put into words how much we appreciate and how grateful we are for them funding this bed. It's really difficult because it's a feeling. Those acts of kindness, the runs, the baking, whatever it is that you do, there is such a real and tangible result from that. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.